Hi, this is Tim Davis with DoControl. In a previous video, we talked about how we can give you visibility into the data access that's currently available or live within your SaaS applications, and also how we can do bulk remediation on that. We can find files that are extensively shared publicly from different users across different SaaS applications and different storage mediums within those SaaS applications, whether it's SharePoint, OneDrive, My Drive, shared drives in Google, and we can find it across all of those different platforms, and then we can give you the ability to do that quick cleanup, that bulk remediation. Hey, this has been shared publicly, this has been shared externally, this is visible to a group inside that shouldn't have access to it. Couple of clicks and you're done, and that's cleaned up. Now, that's amazing, and that's a huge benefit and a time savings and a big boost to your security posture when it comes to protecting your data in SaaS. But we don't want to have to keep doing that over and over again. We want to be able to protect the data as it becomes potentially exposed, right? So let's look at a real-time workflow that would happen, that would do exactly this for Slack in this case. And again, similar things possible for file sharing applications like Google, SharePoint, Teams, etc. as well. We'll just look at this example specifically for Slack. So when someone shares a file into a Slack channel, in this use case, we can check to see, is this an external channel, meaning that there's someone outside of my organization as part of the channel. Don't have to do that. We could look at all the channels if we wanted to, but someone outside the organization getting access to information, generally a higher risk, right? So let's look for someone outside the organization being a member of this channel, and we'll look for specific groups. And in this case, we're going to look for key files. Now, what we want to do here is we will do some DLP, some traditional DLP, but we're not going to do that first because we want to be fast, right? We get this event from Slack that says, hey, this user's uploaded a file. What we're going to do is use our context, our unified data layer that we've created as part of integrating DoControl with your SaaS applications and understanding how your users use the SaaS and what we know about those files and about that content to give you a first pass, quick identification. Is this file containing sensitive information or not? This is without doing the traditional full DLP scans. Not classification either. We could talk about that another time. This is our ability to give you an understanding of if a file contains sensitive information based on the context of the event and the file and the user. We take all that information together. We say, okay, yeah, it looks like this file contains sensitive information. If we positively identify that, let's delete the file from the Slack channel and let's put a notification into a different Slack channel for the information security team to be able to understand what's going on. If our identifier does not find that, and we want to be sure, we can go ahead and then do a DLP scan, look for secret keys, things like that. This is your traditional DLP scan, right? We want to do the other first because number one, it's faster, and number two, a lot of times this piece doesn't become necessary. But if you want to do it, you want to be sure, let's go ahead and do that as well. If we find using our DLP scan that this file contains key information that could be used for and it's an SSH key or it's some other kind of private key that could be used to gain access, then of course let's delete that file and notify what's going on. If we don't find any indicators from our technology or from traditional DLP, then let's just end the workflow and move on. Now, this is very powerful in and of itself because once this workflow is set up to run, for every user that this workflow is applied to, and it could be applied to specific groups that represent high risk, or it could be applied across your whole organization if you choose. But for all of those users to whom this is applied, now you don't have to go back and clean this up later. This is automatically going to protect the data that's in these files from leaving your organization by virtue of it being put into an external Slack channel. I could do more if I wanted to, right? I could do some, let's think maybe, I did take this path. I see now a user has done this. So maybe I want to let the user know as well. I could do a notification for that, but I could also let the user's manager know. So we can query HRIS system for this user's manager, for example, and then we could do a notification to the user and to their manager and say, hey, let's pick the user here. So we could pick from the user's email address, but then we could also, go to our action here, and from our HRS, we can get the user manager email, and now we can send the message that says, hey, let's do better protecting our data, right? So the message can say whatever you want it to be. We can put specific references into, what was the name of the file, what was the name of the Slack channel, all that information to customize this. And the goal here is not to, call the cops on somebody and, bust them. But the goal here is to be collaborative, right? What our vision for a real data access control and a data protection model for SaaS is really collaborative. It's a shared responsibility model between the users and the information security team and the data protection teams within an organization, right? Just like we do with email, where we teach users about the links not to click on, and how to spot phishing attacks and malware that resides inside of email attachments and things like that. We give users the security tools, but we also give them the education. And we want to do the same thing for SaaS security. We want to educate users on, hey, here's why this is not a good idea. Here's why you should choose better options and purpose-built tools for sharing this sensitive information and not just using the easy default tool, right? If we educate these users, then we have much less risk going forward. But again, DoControl is here to protect you, in the case where the users forget or maybe they're not informed yet. And also we're here to help you, create that information channel so that users become more aware and can make better decisions in the future. Thanks for watching.